Have you ever heard someone say, that was one of the hardest things that I've ever done, but it was also one of the best things that I ever did? That's how infinite banking got started. It got started through a really painful situation. So Nelson Nash was a real estate investor, and he got into a big real estate deal with two other guys in the late 70s, and one of them, he said it was like the Titanic. It couldn't possibly go wrong, right? Well, guess what happened? One of the guys bankrupted on them, and he and the other guy had to eat his portion. And then in the early 80s, those 60-day revolving notes at the bank went from 8% to 23%. So for him, what that amounted to was a $65,000 annual interest charge, additional annual interest that he hadn't planned on. Through that really painful scenario, he realized, wow, I've been paying some pretty substantial premiums on whole life insurance policies for quite a long time. I could borrow money from the life insurance company from my cash values at 6% and 7%. And that's what he did. He took a bunch of big policy loans, he paid off the bank, and then he paid back his policy instead of having to pay the bank all that interest. Through that scenario, that painful scenario, it often takes a painful scenario to push somebody to do something that they've never done before, or maybe something that maybe nobody has ever done before. And that's what happened here. Nelson realized something. He said, wow, most people never finance major items through life insurance. They either use their cash from the bank or they get a loan from the bank. And most people with their life insurance, their premiums are really low, and therefore their cash values are really low, and therefore there's not enough cash to finance a major item. And what Nelson realized is, for 200 years, the life insurance industry has focused on the death benefit qualities of life insurance and not the cash qualities of life insurance, or the financing capabilities of life insurance. And he was kind of forced into a scenario of financing a major item with life insurance, where he wouldn't have ever done that unless the situation had kind of forced him to. And so the infinite banking concept is where it all came from. And what it's all about is, what would happen if my premiums were really big? And therefore, my cash values in my life insurance are really big, and therefore I'd have an opportunity to finance major items with life insurance. What does that really look like? How could that really benefit me? And how can I do that, and how can I optimize that? And what really happens is, you become your own banker. You can get free from the traditional commercial banking system that's out there by owning your own private family bank. And that's what infinite banking is all about.